The honking started before the sun had even warmed the windows. Sharp, impatient. Not for me. She stood in the doorway, suitcase in her hand, breath unsteady, like she was trying to swallow a confession before it escaped. "Honey, Dave is already here." Her voice was thin. "Let's go. I'll introduce you to him." Introduce you? To him? As if this moment, this morning, this fracture in reality were something casual. The honking grew louder. A second, longer blast, almost triumphant. Through the frosted window I could see the shadow of a man leaning on the horn, confident, entitled, as if the house, the life within it, already belonged to him. I felt something slip inside me. Not anger, not yet, something colder, a quiet rearranging of the world. I stared at her. She wouldn't meet my eyes. "If he comes within a foot of this house," I said, each word steady, "he'll be ended for trespassing my property." Her mouth fell open, not in fear, but in irritation, like I was inconveniencing her plans. "And, if you leave with him now," I added, softer, "you'll regret it for the rest of your life." The honking stopped. Silence smothered the hallway. She swallowed, tugged at her suitcase zipper, said nothing. And in that stillness I felt it, the shift. The moment your life splits into before and after. The moment the truth finally begins to speak. The night before replayed in fragments. Her late messages, her sudden giggles at nothing, her phone turned face down like a guilty animal hiding from the light. I hadn't asked questions. Questions expose weakness. Silence reveals more. But this morning, this man waiting outside, was not new. I realized that now. The signs had been scattered everywhere, small fractures that only became visible once something shatters completely. Her work trips, her sudden interest in fitness, the password change she said was for security. I remembered the way she had avoided my touch the past week, how she'd smiled at her phone instead of at me, how her voice had a softness reserved for someone else. I'd known something was slipping away, but denial is a slow poison. You sip it because the alternative is too bitter. Now bitterness was all that remained. She placed her suitcase by the door, fingers trembling when she thought I wasn't looking. "Please don't make this difficult," she whispered. Funny, the difficulty had already been made, just not by me. I said nothing as she stepped outside and waved at the man in the car. She didn't leave, not yet. Maybe she expected me to explode, shout, plead, break. But I didn't move. I just watched. That always scares them more. She hesitated, then hurried back in to grab something. What she grabbed didn't matter. What I collected while she was outside did. Her unlocked tablet, her cloud backups, a string of messages buried in an archived folder she thought I'd never check. "Is he leaving early? I want the weekend to ourselves." He still trusts me. It's almost funny. Almost funny. A quiet heat rose in my chest. Not rage, but precision. Emotion sharpened into strategy. That afternoon, while she pretended everything was normal, I collected phone records, bank statements, photos she thought she'd deleted, and one detail that chilled me more than the rest, dates and locations that overlapped perfectly with weekends she said she spent visiting her sister. No confrontation. Not yet. Truth tastes better when served cold. The final piece came 2 days later. Hotel receipts. Her signature, his. No guessing, no maybe, no hope. Just truth, brutal and absolute. I printed everything and placed it in a neat envelope on the kitchen table. When she walked in, her smile flickered, as if she sensed the air had changed temperature. "What's this?" she asked. "Read," I said. She opened it. Her skin lost its color in slow, precise degrees. You went through my—" "No," I cut in. "I went through the truth." She sank onto a chair. Tears formed, not guilt, fear. That was when I knew the power had shifted. She babbled apologies, reaching for me with shaking hands. I didn't take them. Instead, I slid a second envelope toward her, the one she didn't expect, the one she should have feared most. Inside were the legal documents I had prepared quietly, methodically, before she ever admitted anything. "Sign," I said. Her jaw dropped. You planned this?" "I prepared," I corrected. Her tears fell harder. She begged, pleaded, tried to touch my arm, but I stepped back. "You chose him," I said. "You just didn't expect the cost." The honking outside had been loud. Her silence now was louder. When it was over, she signed. Not because she agreed, because she understood she had already lost. She whispered my name, asking for another chance, a promise, a future. But the truth had already burned through everything. I walked to the door, opened it, and let the cold air in. "Dave's waiting," I said quietly. She flinched like I'd struck her. I didn't look back as I walked away.